Hey again, everyone. Welcome to another Name in Progress vidcast with me, Georgie. We've got our usual co-host today, Baker.
Hey, what's up, internets?
It's pretty early for Baker, so I believe it's pretty early for Kirk as well there. We've also got Kirk as well, who's been on a couple of our live chats before as well.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me, Georgie Baker.
It's all right. So in case you don't know me, I'm sure you do. My name's Georgie from Beards and Board Games. Baker, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Baker from Board Online, Board Offline. Been doing this for what, 2 years now? 2 years in July. 2 years in July, and we're trying to think of a name for our little Confederation network that we've got going here. The Dice Tray Network, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that's just my first thought. Anyway.
Awesome.
Hey, I want to adjust the lighting here because this is pretty bad. I'm looking at my face here, and I feel bad for everybody who has to look at this shadow. So hold on one second.
That's all right, Baker. Kirk, do you want to just give yourself a quick introduction as well?
Yeah, my name's Kirk. I'm the host of Roll and Move Reviews on YouTube, and Georgie's right. It's very early in the morning here, and if you think how much I love hanging out with you guys, the fact that I'm awake and I'm here, but I opened my eyes this morning, I'm like, I immediately regret this decision.
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad to be here. It's cool. Thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome. Well, I thought I would just give another quick update, really, what's been happening with me over the last couple of weeks. So I got my lens fixed, which was totally awesome. So I've been kind of pumping out videos, a couple of Kickstarter videos that I've had sent, a couple of Kickstarter projects that I've had sitting around that I promised people videos of. So got, I think, all three of those out now. Oh no, I've got one more to do for the fourth one. I won't tell you what it is, so we'll leave that for a surprise. I've got another couple of reviews coming my way. I'm getting some shelving delivered today, so I should have my board games will no longer be sort of pyramiding around my shelf, and they should now be actually stacked on the shelves. And
I need shelving too. I'm running out.
it's and I'll tell you something, Baker. It's not cheap when you actually want to get the.
No. Now, why do you think I don't have shelving yet?
Yeah, man. So that's pretty much what's been happening for me. Nothing else major, really. Anything been happening with you guys?
Since the last time we talked, I started a new real job, day job, so been getting in the swing of things with that, and that's really, I mean, kind of killed my productivity on my channel over the past couple weeks. I just put my first video out in a while. I'm just getting back in the routine of having, my entire day to make a video, as opposed to like basically till my kids go to bed and I fall asleep. So
Right.
I used to do that, and I don't know, I don't remember how I did it, but I'm getting back to the swing of thing. I got a big backlog of videos I want to make now, so hopefully I'll be able to start pounding those things out as I, like I said, get back in the swing of being back at a real job.
Yeah, real jobs suck.
Yeah, it does.
I hear that. Baker, what you been up to?
Well, the wife and I are finally getting back in the swing of playing games and stuff, because obviously after newborn shows up, it takes a little while to get where she's ready to start playing with any regularity. But she has really gotten into Splendor. We've discovered that my wife is a Euro gamer, no doubt. Like that's it took us like 3 years to figure this out, because I'm more of an that's what we'll do, a Amero gamer. Look at that. Now nobody complains about whether I'm saying trash or thrash. Anyway.
Trash.
Look at that. You can fit in over here, Georgie. That's perfect. But yeah, so she is loving Splendor, and she likes Seven Wonders Duel a lot too, so we've been playing a bunch of those recently. But just dealing with the baby being sick because she had a cold. Well, everybody had a cold last week, actually, but the baby's the last one to get over it. So, but other than that, everything is pretty good.
Awesome.
If I could just wake up completely here.
I'm sure you'll get there. So the only other thing I would like to talk about is the game club that I've sort of been going to is growing, which is cool.
I've seen you post on BGG about that a lot.
Yeah, man. So we've been. I mean, there's another one on Saturday coming. I believe we're going to be playing Spectre Ops, and I'm hoping to bring Mafia de Cuba and maybe get like a big game of that in, because I know it plays up to 12, but maybe if we can get like 10, that'd be good. Just like
the game looks really cool. Mafia de Cuba. I haven't gotten to play that yet. It looks really cool.
It's super, super fun, Baker. I think you would really enjoy it, actually, particularly because you go to a game group as well is it once a month you have meetings?
Well, I have 2 different game groups. Each of them meet once a month, yeah.
Okay. So I think with the game group that I go to, because of the popularity, the owner of the shop, Jason, who said is going to look at doing it every week or every 2 weeks from now on, and hopefully the same turnout will come. Last time we played, I can't even remember the games we played last time. Fury of Dracula, for sale. We hit that up again as a little filler. There was again a lot of games that we played, and I'm really, really enjoying it. So I look forward to this Saturday coming.
Was that the new version of Fury of Dracula?
3rd edition, yeah.
3rd edition?
Yeah. With kind of like the minis were slightly painted as well, because the owner of the game, Breck, who I presume will watch this at some point. Hi, Breck. He basically said that the minis were quite hard to tell apart on the board when they weren't painted, because they were fairly small. So he had painted them slightly, which was cool. We could tell them apart, and the game seems really thematic as well. So I can chat. Oh, okay.
Hi, sorry, I'm on a laptop now for the first time since we've been doing this, so I'm just discovering all these new features.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, please continue. I wasn't trying to stop you from talking.
Well, that's all right, because to be honest, it's the first time I've ever seen anyone use the chat feature, so it's always good.
Yay! That's both exciting and sad.
Just a little. The game's really thematic. Breck played the Dracula, and there was 4 of us that were playing the Hunters, I think they're called, and it was really, really fun. Trying to go around. I know we got a couple of the rules wrong, but regardless of that, we still had a really good time. And I can see us playing it again, maybe just to make sure that we've got the rules right. And I can see it being a real big hit, especially. I mean, I see why they made a 3rd edition. Put it that way, I really do.
Cool. Yeah, that's immediately as soon as that came out, I took 2nd edition off my wish list and put 3rd edition on. So. Yeah,
right.
I want to give that a shot sometime.
So what about you guys? Have you guys been playing anything? Baker, you said you've been playing a lot of Splendor. Is that kind of new to you guys, or?
Yes, I got it for Christmas. So,
okay.
You know how I am. I'm cult of new to me. Cult of the new to me. So, yeah, Splendor and Seven Wonders Duel were both Christmas presents, along with Hive. And there was one other. What was the other one? Oh crap! What was the other one? I know there was. Oh no, that's it. Oh no, I got a couple other timeline additions. That's what it was.
Yeah, you did actually. I remember seeing those.
So
you guys been enjoying Hive as well? I mean, I personally, it was my friend Liam that showed me Hive, and basically he showed me it, and I bought it the next day, and I love the game. I like that you can carry it about with you and just kind of play it wherever.
Yeah. Kirk, have you played Hive?
I have not. I want to. I hear everybody talking about it. I haven't had a chance to.
Yeah. That was actually the first game that Brandon and I started playing. Like, that was the first one she played after giving birth, because it's just like you said. It's like maybe 5 to 10 minutes at the most.
Yeah.
And there's no actual board. You know, you basically set up the play area wherever you are, and so that was one of the first ones we could play. That kind of got her back into it, and everything. So yeah, we haven't played it so much since she started trying out Seven Wonders Duel and Splendor, but that's definitely one that anytime we go anywhere, we'll be taking it with us. And probably be Hive and Star Realms be the 2 games that travel with us everywhere we go. So
yeah, they're both pretty awesome travel games. As far as Star Realms go, Baker, did you ever get Colony or Epic or any of those other kind of spin-off games?
Well, Colony Wars was actually still Star Realms, right? Like
yeah.
So you could shuffle. I'm waiting to get that until I get a. I backed the Dice Tower Kickstarter recently.
Okay.
And I got the thing where they'll give you a card tower, so where you can stack huge stacks of cards.
Okay.
And
cool.
Because I have all my Star Realms cards sleeved, so if I'm going to use Colony, the deck is already at the point where it's going to almost fall over.
Yeah.
So I get Colony, and because I guess some people would play Colony by itself, but for me, I'm just going to mash everything together. So I needed something to hold the deck up. So maybe after that that comes in, then I'll get Colony. As far as Epic goes, I have not gotten that. I've heard mixed reviews about it, and it sounds like it's very derivative of Magic the Gathering. And I don't know. To me, it's like, I'll just buy a couple Magic starter packs or something if I want to play Magic. But
stay away from Epic then, I think.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't turn it down if somebody had it. I'd play it. I'm just saying I'll spend my own money on it.
Yeah, I mean there was also Cthulhu Wars as well, which I can't remember if that was the same.
No, Cthulhu Realms. Cthulhu Wars was was the awesome freaking minis that big game.
In fact, there was a guy at the game club again who was the game group who was playing that game last time. And to be honest, it didn't look as exciting as I expected it to, but the minis still are pretty intense. Like I was holding, was it Haster? Yeah, I was holding Haster, and I was just like, you need like 2 tubs of paint to paint this thing. It was like hand sized, it was really big.
Have you played that yet?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I have not played it yet. I've heard that it's pretty much the same as Chaos in the Old World, just with Cthulhu feel to it. Have you played it?
I have not. My only problem with it, I mean, from what I've seen, the reviews and things I've watched, it seems like you don't get to use those giant minis enough. Like the whole game's about bringing them up on the board, and then that's just the end game,
Yeah,
and let's face it, if you buy that game, you're paying $200 for those giant minis. I want them on the board the whole time. So I don't know. I'm.
That's a really good point.
If I come across somebody who owns it, I'll play it, but I'm not shelling out that much money for that game.
Like a lot of people say, hey, you get your money's worth just in minis alone, because if you bought all these individually, it would cost you like $500. Well, that's great if I was a miniatures collector, but I'm not. I'm a board gamer. So
that's exactly how I feel about it. But I know like the guy who brought it was still awaiting. Like, so all he got was his main game, and he was still waiting like a couple of £100 worth of expansions that he was also waiting for, for it to come with it. So it's an expensive one. However, I believe we're now like kind of heading towards the Kickstarter realm. Baker, you already mentioned Kickstarter. There's one main thing that I want to talk about in Kickstarter that's coming out on the 28th of February, which I believe is going to bankrupt me again on payday.
Oh wait, real quick, I just want to point out, like, before we leave. So good news, for only $90 you can get one expansion pack of a Great Old One.
$90.
Yeah. So that's an expansion for Cthulhu Wars. Anyway, all right. So go ahead.
No, that's all right. So I guess I might save mine for last. But has any of you guys noticed anything? Or I mean, obviously Baker, you're saying you backed the Dice Tower Kickstarter. I noticed they did super well. One of the other Kickstarters that seems to be rocketing right now is the Cyanide and Happiness Kickstarter.
I've heard that's doing really well. Is it because that's a game that they're putting out? It's like with the cartoons and everything, right?
Yeah. So it's pretty much Cards Against Humanity, but it's with the, just with like square cards, but it's like comic strips. And I believe, looking at it now, it was pretty much hitting 1 million. 950. Let's just double check that, make sure it's right. Yeah, 959,000. It's at just now, and it's still got 23 days to go, and it's rising and rising and rising. The one thing I would say about it is the stretch. I don't know if any of you guys have seen the campaign yet, but
I'm trying to pull it up right now, actually. But
the stretch goals are strange. So, I mean, most of them are the usual ones. So, like, get 10 more cards, get 30 more cards. But what people need to do, I mean, I know it's Cyanide and Happiness, so like one Cyanide and Happiness themed video game mod. And you need to submit proof to you need to do like really strange things to like unlock the next stretch goal. So like another one is so 20 people have to build cyanide and happiness snowmen and then send in pictures, and then that'll be one of the
and even the pledge, like, it's $102, $104, $106. What is this?
That is
$133.
It's really strange. I believe they've done like Kickstarters before, but just for their
show.
Yeah, for the show and for them to continue doing it. But this is a really strange one. I got to be honest. As far as board games go, this is probably one of the most interesting Kickstarters I think I've seen in a long time. But I believe it's based off that random comic generator as well that's been like a huge success online. So
Yeah, because it looks like it's Cards Against Humanity, except you're making a Cyanide and Happiness comic strip.
exactly, yeah, exactly that. So I don't know. I think it'll do well. I think it's going to be slightly less offensive than Cards Against Humanity, with there still being a little bit of.
Could not be.
Yeah, let's be honest. If you were more offensive than Cards Against Humanity, you would be a Nazi. So.
Yeah. Are you trying to say that the people who invented that are not? Well, never mind.
I'm not saying anybody is a Nazi. I'm saying you were more offensive.
But yeah,
I'll tell you this, George. You know my trepidation with Kickstarter. But when I saw the Cyanide and Happiness had a Kickstarter for a game that was similar to Cards Against Humanity, but with their cartoons, I felt a little bit like maybe I should back that one. But I didn't. I'm not going to do it.
You're not going to do it? You're still holding off?
So hold off.
Okay. I believe this year will be the year to break you into Kickstarter. I really do, Baker. I think this will be the year.
It's possible. Kirk, how often do you bet Kickstarters? I can't remember. I think we talked about it before.
I really don't. I'm more of a put it on the shelf and let me buy it guy.
Okay.
Yeah, I just.
Yeah,
I think
that's
about last time when Ezreal was here. I just don't. I mean, like I said, I don't have the patience for it. I think
it's the weight. That's why I can't do it too.
And it's like here's money for a game that's coming out in a year maybe, or I can go to the store, go to the website and have a game immediately. So that's my thing. I mean, I don't have anything against Kickstarter. A lot of my favorite games are Kickstarters, but
right.
I just don't do a lot of backing because I want that immediate gratification when I put my money down.
Yeah, I could see why people would be like that. I think we did speak about it before. As far as like how we back Kickstarters, everyone knows that I love Kickstarters. So the one thing that I was going to mention that's kind of annoyed me and excited me and just frustrated me in general is Cool Mini or Not again are releasing another Kickstarter for Masmora, the Dungeons of Arcadia. Now, I believe this is going to be like more of a dungeony crawl version of because I mean not like Arcadia Quest isn't a dungeon crawl, but I mean Arcadia Quest kind of like a take that game where you can move your characters and then once everyone's moves they rest and then you try and get it's kind of light and super fun. This is going to be light, but I think it's going to be more dungeon crawly, and it's in the same realm as Arcadia. It's going to be full of those minis again, and I put money on it being another $100 out of my wallet on the 20th of February, and it's kind of frustrating me a little bit. Inferno's not even been released yet. I don't think that's going to be out till June. Maybe just before, maybe just after. And I feel like this is kind of another game in the same realm as it, and it's just really frustrating. Like I don't want to back another game in the same realm or in the same storyline, but I feel like I should because if I really enjoy Arcadia Quest Inferno, which I know I will, and once I'm done with that campaign, I'll maybe want something in the same universe, but just another something else to follow. I'm so frustrated by it.
Well, this is one of my.
You're gonna back them though?
Sorry?
You're still gonna back it though?
Probably.
And that's why they keep doing it.
I'm going to tread lightly here because anytime, like on Board Game Geek, that I suggest that Kickstarter isn't the greatest thing that's ever happened to board games, I kind of get attacked. So I'm going to tread very lightly here. But one of my frustrations with Kickstarter, I like it as a platform for new designers who have no other outlet. I think that's really cool. And I don't understand the business side of it, the business model, so maybe it makes sense. But what do you guys think about, do you get a little annoyed when you see established companies who have the resources to put the game up on their own using Kickstarter? Like you're talking about, like Cool Mini or Not, they could put that game up by themselves. At least I think they could. And to me, it's like, why do you need to take money out of my pocket to fund your game? Why don't you just put it out and put it on the shelf and let me buy it? Why do you have to go through all this rigmarole? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I get you. I just feel that if Kickstarter allows it to be used as a pre-order system, and you're going to get a bunch of stretch goals with it, I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about it. I really do. But I know what you're saying. But I feel like if they just released the game and put it on the shelf, it would be more expensive to the consumer, because there would be a higher risk involved. So they wouldn't want to print as many.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at, I mean, I haven't played it, but looking at pretty much, I'm not even going to say that actually because that's making presumptions. I'll maybe mention that after the video. Sorry, that's a bit of like one of those. I hate when people do that anyway, so sorry guys. But yeah, it's it's kind of like if Kickstarter allows it to be used as a pre-order system,
Mm-hmm.
then I don't see why companies shouldn't be allowed to use it. Really,
Oh yeah,
if they allow it to be used that way.
Not to if they can. That's for sure.
Yeah.
There's
And
one game right now that's on Kickstarter that I am considering backing. The next and final Sentinels of the Multiverse expansion. I don't know if you guys heard about Greater Than Gate.
yeah.
And the main reason I want to do it is because one of the bonus things, I don't even know what they're called, not stretch goals, but they're just something you get, the pledge level rewards, is a collector's box. And right now I'm carrying that game around in 3 giant boxes, so that's actually something that might be worth me picking up. But I think that game funded in 8 minutes, and right now they haven't. I don't know how close they are, but they've actually posted their $1 million stretch goal. So I mean, they're raking in the money for that one.
And you said it's the final one. It's like they're calling it quits on the game.
They're saying this is it. Basically, what it is, I don't know if you guys are that into comic books, but you know how every couple years they'll have a big crossover. It's like end of the universe, some giant galactic monster destroy time and space. That's what's happening now, and that's going to end the Sentinels of the Multiverse universe, at least the card game. Now, I don't know if you guys have played Sentinels Tactics.
No,
I heard about it when it came out. I never played it though.
If you play that game, there's a gap in time between that game and the card game. So I think what's going to happen, that's going to fill the gap in. And I don't know if it's going to jump straight to Tactics or if there's going to be something in between. But I mean, the game world is going to continue. It just this version of it seems like it's going to be over.
Sounds interesting. It's never been a game that's really. I know there's like huge hype about it, but I've never really dove into it, and I've never played it like Sentinels of the Multiverse at all. I've seen it like multiple occasions. I've seen it being played once, I think, and I've just never been that interested.
It's a game I really love. If you don't really love comic books, you may not be that into it, just because it rides heavily on the theme. The game's a little wonky. There's a lot of bookkeeping, and a lot of people I know complain about that. But if you really enjoy the theme, because it captures, I mean, you really feel like you're playing superheroes. So if you like the theme, it's a game you're really going to enjoy. But if you can't really delve into the theme, some of the flaws of the game are probably going to stick out to you a lot more. I can't hear you, Georgie.
Georgie, you muted yourself.
Yeah.
Georgie. Well, look, this is what chat is for.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, this is true. It's alright. I realised that
Oh, you're back.
There you go.
Don't get too excited with the chat there, Baker. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll have to give it a try because I mean I love comic books. I really do. So I don't know. It's probably going to be something that I need to need to have a shot. Speaking of comic books, has anyone seen Deadpool yet? Apart from me.
No, I really want to see that movie, but I have not seen it.
Kirk, you seen it?
Yeah, me and my wife went over. Actually, that was an impromptu Valentine's Day. We went and saw one movie, and then we ran into friends at the theater. They're like, "Hey, we were walking out there, They're like, "Hey, we're going to see Deadpool. You want to come?" We're like, "Yeah, why not?" So yeah, we ended up seeing it.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, what did you?
Wait, hold on. We're missing a key part of the story. What was the movie that you actually went to see on Valentine's Day?
We went and saw Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Believe it or not, my
that's
wife
respectable as well.
That's the one she wanted to see. So it was a pretty nice double feature.
Nice.
That's It seems like a bit of a random double feature. I guess it wasn't actually a double feature. I presume it was just a Kirk double feature, right? Or
right.
No, we walked out and walked back in. So
yeah, Deadpool was awesome. I recommend anyone go to watch it. I really do. Now, I think moving on from Kickstarter and comics and all that other stuff, there's been quite a few games that have been announced to be released this year, Gen Con, Essen, whatever. The information of the games is starting to come out, and it's starting to come out thick and fast. Is there anything that you guys are looking forward to in particular?
I'm curious as to exactly what Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu is. Because if it's simply Pandemic with a Cthulhu theme smeared on top, then I'm not interested. Because I've got 2 versions of Pandemic already, But if they've actually changed it up and they're just using, like if Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu is to Pandemic what Risk Legacy, or better yet, Star Wars Risk is to Risk, then I'm interested, because they're just using the brand name and like a very generalized idea, and then completely changing up. If that's what's going on, then they've got my interest.
Yeah,
that looks like one. I'm really hesitant on that one, just because it seems like someone was like, "Hey, gamers love Pandemic,
right? Exactly.
Love Cthulhu. Let's push them to get. If we could somehow fit trains and zombies in there too, it'll be perfect." But yeah, I mean, it could be awesome. I'm gonna have to definitely play that before I buy it, though, just because it could be great, but there could be a lot wrong with it too.
Wait, here's how you could do it. Here's how you do it, Kirk. Pandemic, Reign of Cthulhu, a zombie mystery on the Orient Express.
There you go. You'll never have to make another board game again.
Baker, you're a genius. You do realize if anyone sees this video, they're going to employ you. Like, you will
copyright, trademark.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the games I had a feeling that particularly yourself, Baker, was going to bring up, because I know you're a huge Pandemic fan, but I also know you're partial to a little bit of Cthulhu lore.
Just a bit. Just a bit.
Obviously, with your Mansions of Madness. Mansions of Madness. That's Cthulhu. Yeah, of course that's Cthulhu themed. But I'm trying to think who the main antagonist is. The Mansions of Madness
Mansions of Madness. Well, I mean, one person plays the keeper who. It depends on which scenario you're playing. Sometimes, I mean, all of them. I guess you're ultimately trying to bring, help a great old one come through into the world or whatever. But in one scenario, it's a bunch of witches running around, and another one, it's cultists, where the end game is to raise the Shoggoth or what. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the scenario.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that Mansions of Madness was pretty much like the better version of Betrayal: A House on the Hill.
I've not played Betrayal yet, but I've heard it compared to that frequently.
I've played Betrayal a few times. 2 of the scenarios that I played I really enjoyed. The other ones I just felt like they were kind of broken. Like, you couldn't hit one of the bad guys unless you had found the spear, and you couldn't find the spear without searching all the rooms. And the bad guy came out like halfway through. Yeah, it just seemed to be impossible. And once he landed on the square, he would just follow you and hit you. So you're breaking up.
They don't work. Is this my internet messing up? Some of y'all are breaking up.
Oh yeah, I think it's your internet, bro.
There you go.
Sorry. All right.
For me, Betrayal is the best thing, and the worst thing about it is the haunt. I love the fact that you have that secret traitor that not even the traitor knows about, and it's really cool that that happens. But for me, the game breaks up too much, where pretty much anything that happens before the haunt really doesn't matter. Like, you try to build up and get ready for it, and then it just like, maybe you're collecting a bunch of weapons, and then the first thing you do when the haunt starts, discard all your weapons. It's like, oh, okay, well, that was pointless. But it's a fun game. Mansions is a better game, but you can play Betrayal a lot more often. It's a lot easier to get to the table, because Mansions, just like any other Fantasy Flight Arkham game, is a lot of work.
Yeah, most of I sometimes find
Mansions
a lot of those games exhausting.
That's for sure. and the thing with Mansions, and I think one of the key reasons why it didn't continue getting supported, is that, first off, the setup. I mean, the setup alone, especially when you're first getting used to it, will take 45 minutes. Yeah. And if you mess up that setup, if even one card is put in the wrong spot, because you're setting all these different cards up in different rooms, and if even one card is put in the wrong spot, then you've completely boned the entire game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I usually play the keeper on that, and I usually a day or two before I sit down and plan out. Because the rulebook says, oh, just while the other people are setting up, you plan everything else. Like, no, that doesn't work.
No rulebook. That's a dumb idea. We're not going to do that.
I sit down the day before. I probably take about 2 hours to plan out my whole. Okay, this is where this is going to be. That's where they have to go. This is where I want them, and you really strategize out because otherwise they'll just steamroll you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So going back to the pandemic, Reign of Cthulhu, did y'all see the trailer they put out for that?
Mm-mm.
No, I have not seen it.
Well, there you go.
What is it? What's it like? Is it just like
It's like a 50-second trailer, and I mean it's a hype trailer. It doesn't show any gameplay or anything. It's it's just getting you excited for it. But it's a pretty slick little trailer they put together for it. Like I said, it's just 50 seconds. So y'all can watch it right here and do a live reaction. People love those.
Yeah, okay. Entertain everyone for 50 seconds. I'm gonna go watch.
Oh, wait. The point of a live reaction is you got to be talking where people can hear you. Anyway. Oh, there he is. What's he doing? All right. So, Kirk, how's it going?
Pretty good. Who's putting that game out?
Z-Man, but Matt Leacock is not involved.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, it's not. Other than just, I mean, maybe in like a peripheral to kind of, I don't know. I know that he is not directly involved in designing the changes for the game. So.
Okay. Well,
and in fact, let me see who is.
That'll speak definitely to your idea of it being a different game, because if
right.
What
do you think, Georgie?
The music's really intense.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks kind of cool. It doesn't look like it's going to be the same as Pandemic. It looks like it's using the same world map, but it looks like there's quite a few different things going on with the cards at the top. I don't know whether it be an event track or what it is, but it looks like there's something strange going on up the top of the cards. And there's some other cards going on at the side here, so it does look kind of different. I'm hoping they don't use that same Pandemic logo. I know it's the same company, and Z-Man want to remember, get Pandemic fans into it, but it doesn't really suit the rest of it. It's like Pandemic, Realms of Cthulhu.
Yeah, well, because that box they showed right there is the announced box. So unless they change things up at the last minute, that's going to be what the logo looks like. I'm looking, the guy that's designing it, Chuck D. Yeager, and it looks like he doesn't have a whole lot of design credits under his name. He's on BGG. We've got a game called Zombies vs. Werewolves, a game called Rise of Cthulhu.
Right, none of these games sound stereotypical at all. I'm just going to throw that out there.
And another game called My Quest, which doesn't even have a rating. I'm guessing it was published in 2011, but nobody... Yeah, it doesn't have...
I'm concerned.
It doesn't even have a BGG rating, so...
Yeah, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I think we'll have to see how that one goes. Which is strange, considering Matt Leacock's releasing Nitwit.
Haven't heard of that.
You not heard of this one? So it looks... It's odd. I can't really tell what it's about yet because they've not released super amounts of information. But I do know you get a spool of yarn or a spool of string and a peg for each colored player. That's
different.
Yeah, it doesn't look like your standard Matt Leacock game. Put it that way. It looks totally random compared to it. But yeah, I thought that one looked. I mean, it's Matt Leacock. I'm gonna give it a try.
Nitwit, knitting.
Oh yeah, it's clever, right?
Is it one word, Nitwit?
Let me just find it just now for you.
No.
Yes. No.
How do you? No.
KNIT space WIT.
There it is.
A word game.
Okay.
What the sort of string and peg and buttons and everything's for, I don't know, but I'm interested.
It's interesting. Yeah, look at this because it's got clothespins and.
Yep.
What is happening?
It is a really, really strange looking one, but as I said, with it being Matt Leacock, I feel like most people should try this. I'm definitely going to try it anyway because I just want to hear everyone's opinions on Matt Leacock not making a huge epic co-op game. Which I mean, Forbidden Desert probably wasn't huge epic. I mean, it was still pretty epic and it was still a co-op game. But it wasn't huge by any means, but yeah, I'm curious to see what everyone thinks of this game by Matt Leacock. So.
Do you think that you're cooperatively with the other players trying to knit together a sweater and you draw cards that have moths fly in and eat the sweater, and you're trying to knit it before they eat it. That's probably what's going on. That's probably the primary game mechanic.
Oh, okay.
You can see confirmed here on Name in Progress. That's the mechanic in the game.
Yeah, I'm gonna just come out there and say this is not confirmed on Name in Progress, and we know nothing else about the game so far. We need to do way more research. Baker, don't put words in people's mouths. Come on.
Hey, Georgie, you're the one that confirmed it. I'm just sitting around here watching.
All right. Yeah, I think a couple other for 2016. Really, I know Gloomhaven's the official release of Gloomhaven's coming out, so I think that'll be a really big seller.
That looks like a cool game.
Yeah. What was the other one that looked kind of cool? I think it was like dexterity dice rolling. Kung Fu Zoo, I think it was called. I saw that and I thought, that looks really cool. It's like flicking dice at each other's dice, trying to knock them down holes, and it looks kind of cool. It's just like a little dexterity game. 2 to 4 players. I believe everyone starts in a different corner and just flicks the dice at each other. Not actually at each other. Obviously, that would be pretty violent for a board game, but no, just at each other's dice, trying to knock them down holes and things. I thought that looked really cool. Not my general style of game, but I feel I could bring it anywhere and get anyone to play it, particularly if it's fun.
Kung Fu Zoo. Let's look at this. It's got some cool dice in it.
Yeah.
Huh. All right.
I'm trying to think of does anything else interest you guys about 2016 yet, or are you guys waiting for I presume there's going to be like a big rush of named releases coming up to Gen Con and things like there always is again. So there's nothing major. I mean, obviously there's the other ones that I always talk about that I'm still waiting for on Kickstarter, but I'm not going to mention them again. The others, Arcadia Quest, everything else. So yeah, there is a lot of other games coming out in 2016. But
Board Game Geek's been at I guess the New York Toy Fair this week.
Yeah,
and
that was this weekend just passed, right? So
they've been posting a lot of cool stuff on Twitter. And last time we talked, I said one of my most anticipated games for 2016 was the new Gale Force 9 Star Trek game.
Okay.
And I guess they've announced the name for that. I think it's Ascendancy. I think it's Star Trek Ascendancy, and it's going to be like a big 4X game. And I can't wait to play that. I think
that's interesting. Like that could be like a Twilight Imperium style game.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's not the one that's based like Mage Knight, right?
No, that's
Frontiers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
There's a couple Star Trek games coming out this year, but this one looks really cool. I'm not a huge fan of like big 4X games like Twilight Imperium, like 4 or 5 hour games.
Yeah.
But I think the Star Trek universe is such a great place to put that. There's so much there and so much you can do. So I'm really excited. And Gale Force 9, and I think I said this all before, anytime they get their hands on a TV property, they just knock it out of the park. So
yeah, they really do.
I think that's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, I think you might be right with that, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other one that I was... I mean, what was that? Star Trek Frontiers. That's the Mage Knight based one, right?
Yeah, that's the Mage Knight.
Which is kind of strange that there's going to be two games like that coming out in the same year.
Well, this year's the 50th anniversary of Star Trek.
Yeah.
A lot of Star Trek stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Even though on the 51-year anniversary, that's when the new season comes out, right? So because they're not doing that.
Oh, they're making a new show? I didn't know that.
Yeah, 2017. And it's going to have a couple of the old cast in it too. So, a Voyager cast, I believe.
I guess I need to finish watching Voyager. I got about a season and a half into that, and I was trying to power watch all the Star Treks. And I got through the first Star Trek, and no, I didn't watch the first Star Trek. I didn't watch the first Star Trek. Sorry. I got through Next Generation. I can't watch. It's too 1970s. I can't do it.
You can't watch the original series?
Not the whole thing in a row. No, I can't. I'm sorry. I know that's really, really bad of me, and I'm a bad person, I know, but
Don't worry, Kirk. I've muted Baker. We don't need to listen to your idiocracies anymore.
Get him out of here.
Okay, now I need to figure out how to get Baker unmuted. I'm pretty sure I had this problem last time.
Oh, wait.
Baker,
Hey,
oh, there we go. Oh. Well, that was
Woo.
worrying.
Yeah. But I watched all of the Next Generation, and then I watched all of Deep Space Nine, and then I moved on into Voyager, and I got about a season and a half in, and I was just completely Star Trek'd out, and I had to take a break, and I haven't gone back.
Voyager is kind of what did me in for Star Trek. When I was a kid, I was a huge Trekker, whatever you want to call them. I mean, I love Star Trek. And, I watched them all, original series, Next Generation. I mean, I was diehard. And Voyager is what really sucked me out of it. I got about a year into Voyager, and then I tapped out. I was never really that into it again. I mean, I still like it, but I never with the same passion I had for it when I was younger.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what about it. What it was about it that kind of didn't work for me. I mean, I think I would have enjoyed it if I hadn't just finished. Was that like 10 seasons of Star Trek prior to that? So.
Yeah.
I'm just starting to think how interesting a live chat would be with just me.
Wait, what?
I love Voyager. Voyager is awesome. Next Gen is awesome. Deep Space Nine is awesome, and the original series is awesome.
I love Deep Space Nine. Might be my favorite Star Trek.
It's definitely my favorite.
I mean, notice I didn't mention Enterprise. I'm not a huge fan, I got to say. But you didn't like Voyager? Voyager turned you guys off, made you tap out? That is like
honestly, I really don't think that it was Voyager. I think it was the fact that I had just previously watched 10 seasons of Star Trek in a row.
Okay.
So.
Not a good enough excuse. Kirk, you either saying that you were a huge Trekkie and then it turned... I mean, this is upsetting.
I mean, maybe it was fatigue for me too, and I don't know, like I said, I love Next Generation, I love Deep Space Nine. I think it might have been the fact that it went too far away from it, like everything was so capsulized in a very tight universe.
It was in the Delta Quadrant, Kirk. It was pretty far away from it.
That's what I'm saying, though. The fact that it's so far removed, it didn't feel enough like Star Trek to me, because it was so far separated from everything I was used to. I don't like change, Georgie. I don't like change.
I am... I'm in shock. I'm going to be honest. I'm completely honest. I'm in shock.
Hey, if you don't like change, then use your debit card. Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, Baker, you're hilarious. Yeah. I think that was pretty much. I didn't really have other subjects to talk about.
Seafall. 2016 Seafall. Can't talk about 2016 without talking about Seafall.
Okay, Seafall is. Is it like? Are they doing like Seafall season 1, 2, or?
No, I don't think so. I mean, maybe, but as of right now, no. It's just Seafall.
I guess we should probably say, because like it seems like we're just saying Seafall. So for anyone who doesn't know what Seafall is, it's Rob. Yeah. Oh, you can go, Baker.
Rob Davio, who is the guy that created the Legacy system. He designed Risk Legacy, obviously co-designed Pandemic Legacy. Seafall is the first game with an original IP with the Legacy system and is actually, he's been working on Seafall longer than any of the others, but because he's been building it completely from scratch, it's taken him forever, and it's his personal project and everything. And that is finally coming out this year. It's actually been delivered to Plaid Hat Games and is being printed up as we speak, I guess. So that should be actually showing up for pre-order on Plaid Hat relatively soon, I would think.
Yeah, because Plaid Hat usually do the pre-order system on their
Yeah,
own
Plaid
site,
Hat
right?
is a Kickstarter-free company. Thank you very much. And they pride themselves on that.
It sounds like a dig at Cool Mini or Not and a bunch of other companies. So say goodbye to any friendships with them, Baker.
Hey, you know what? I don't have publishers as my sponsors, so I'm not beholden to their ways. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. But so Seafall takes place. It's kind of, I don't know. Obviously, since it's a legacy game, they've been keeping a lot of the stuff under wraps as far as exactly what will go on in the game. But it looks like it takes place in kind of the age of sail. Everybody's got a big ship with sales and all that kind of stuff going around, and it's been described as a little bit of a 4X style game.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting to see how they'll work that into a legacy system. But basically, for me, the big selling point is Rob Davio. It's his first game, and that he's been working on this longer than any other game, and so it's pretty exciting. And I definitely want to see how the legacy system translates into that.
First of all, I want to see some actual, not like actual artwork. That's the wrong word because we've seen the box cover, right? I'm pretty sure that's official, and it's done.
Yeah.
But we haven't actually seen artwork of the board, artwork of the cards, or
everything on BGG is all prototype stuff.
Yeah, and I remember watching, I think it was somebody on Twitter, and they were posting, just play tested Seafall, and then there was pictures of it, and it was all just A4 sheets printed out. And I'm like, that's cool that you're getting to play test it, but I really want to see boards and cards, and what people are going to be using for their tokens to move around. I presume we're going to have a couple of different. Well, it looks like we're going to have a couple of different tracks on your own player mat, and then looks like there's going to be obviously a bigger board where you move things around in that sort of manner as well. So. Yeah, I really just want to see some more art, some more information about it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Hey, check out that link I just sent you, by the way. I've not heard of this game. I was looking through games of 2016, and this looks pretty crazy.
Yeah, can you send that again? It faded out before I could click on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if you are you on a laptop or tablet? If you go to the left-hand side and go to the very top and click chat, Kirk.
Okay, I see it there. All right.
Yeah, you'll see there's a chat box. Look at me, a master of chat already. I'm so technical advanced. But yeah, I'll tell you one thing that concerns me about Seafall is Rob Davio has spent a very long time on this game, and both the legacy games have been great. I guess would be so they
with no question mark on the end of that sentence.
Okay. Both the legacy games have went down a storm, should we say? And they have a pretty strong stand. So they both had a pretty strong stand in IP before he made the legacy, or helped make the legacy system out of it. Now, will people buy it because it's another legacy game? Will people buy it because it's another legacy game? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if people will just.
You're talking about if are you asking if that by itself would be enough to get people to buy it, or are you asking if people are going to want to buy another legacy game?
Right. Well, I don't know. Are people going to want to buy another legacy game that doesn't have an IP? Reason for Time Stories has done incredibly well. Okay, it is 60 on BGG now, 60-ish, 50-ish. It's in the top 100. It's that high already, yeah. But it is nowhere near Pandemic Legacy. Now, I guess the question
neither is Risk Legacy, though.
Exactly, yeah. But Risk Legacy has an older IP attached to it, and certainly, I mean this with the utmost respect to everyone who still loves Risk. I still love Risk, but it does have a dying fan base. Not as many people now want to go out and play a four-player 6-hour game of Risk. Well strategized, well thought out. Long play.
The other thing I noticed too about Risk Legacy is that hardcore Risk players, at least ones I know, didn't seem that interested in Risk Legacy.
No.
I know people who play Risk religiously. That's all they play. And I was like, "Have you guys heard of Risk Legacy? You played that?" And they're like, "Eh." I think Risk players are Risk players.
Yeah.
Pandemic players are gamers. I think that may be a too broad a generalization.
No, I think you're right about that. Yeah.
So, I think the Pandemic players are more willing to give something like a legacy game a try, where the Risk players are going to say, no, we're just going to stick with Risk because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Here comes the hater, right? Oh, somebody just woke up.
Good morning.
Say hey to Kirk and Georgie. Go get ready for school.
How old's your daughter?
Thank you. She's 8.
Ah, boy. So
that's the first I've ever seen her without a Darth Vader mask.
I know.
Yeah, actually, that's only the second time I've seen her without a Darth Vader mask. Is she as big of a Star Wars fan as you, Baker, or do you kind of force her into it? Because that could be bordering on child abuse. I'm just saying.
She does like him. I don't know if she's as big a fan. I mean, I'm pretty positive I'm the biggest geek in the house, but no, she likes him a lot. She just found out last night that episode 8 comes out in I told her December 2017, and all she heard was December. She's like, "Oh, cool, it's the end of the year." I was like, "No, 2017." She's like, "What?" So yeah,
she's away yet.
Yeah,
too long.
But yeah, and Kirk, on the opposite side of that point, I maybe you said this when she was walking, I didn't hear you, but I think that like the hobby gamers might have stayed away from Risk Legacy initially because the name Risk was attached to it.
Yeah.
And so there's this combination of Risk players not wanting anything to do with it and hobby gamers not wanting anything to do with it, and slowly hobby gamers started realizing that they had made changes to it to make it more, like it's not this ridiculous just dice fest that lasts for 5 hours. It's 45-minute game that has some really cool features to it. So, and it's up at 128 now on BGG, which I think maybe Pandemic Legacy has given it a boost.
I think you might be right with that as well. I'm not, to be honest, I couldn't tell you exactly where it lay before that. I don't think it was that high.
I don't think it was anywhere near that high. No.
No, but I don't know. I guess Time Stories is 2 expansions. They've got another one coming out this year called Under the Mask. I believe they're going to probably have another one closer at the end of the year or start of the year after. And people don't seem to mind paying the extra money for it. But
an expensive game. That's an expensive game for the amount of hours you get out of it.
It is, yeah. I mean, even compared to Pandemic Legacy, realistically, Legacy you're getting a lot more hours out of the box for your money, I would say, than Time Story. I mean, there's people who done the Asylum, which is the first Time Stories run. I think people did it in like 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours. Some people, and obviously Pandemic Legacy is way more than that. Times in the frame of in time frames. So the only other thing that concerns me is Time Stories. Are people voting Time Stories the game up because of the expansions that came out? So are people rating Time Stories on BGG as in like is it made the top 100 not only because of Asylum but because of Marcy Case and then because of Prophecy of Dragons?
Oh, is that the new one? What do you call it? Proxy of Dragons?
Prophecy of Dragons is the
Prophecy of Dragons?
Yeah, is the one that just came out. So there's 3 storylines for Time Stories just now. The 4th one's coming out this year, and the 4th one's called Under the Mask. Now, I don't know whether people are voting Time Stories, the box, the game, up on BGG because of the expansions that are coming out for it. I guess they are, right?
I mean, I think that's fair, though. I think most games, if they get a really good expansion, you can consider that to be part of the, that is part of the original game, and so if you get a really good expansion, it's fair to give that game a high rating based off of that. And the problem with Time Stories, you kind of have to, because the base game is definitely not worth what you're paying. You know what I mean? It's all the additional modules that you got to value. I mean, I say it's definitely not. Maybe it is worth it because I mean it's apparently a very unique gaming experience that you get to have there. But the modules are definitely what make that game really shine.
Yeah, I mean, Pandemic Legacy Season 2, what's that, 2017 they're aiming for that one?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I think that'll get voted separately, though. I mean, it's probably going to be a standalone.
Because they're going to make a whole separate, that's a standalone game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Maybe I'm just looking too much into the whole Legacy cash grab thing. I don't even think it's a cash grab. I think it's probably still, like, if you want to take 4 people out for an awesome meal and then go to the cinema, you're probably going to be above the box of Time Stories anyway. So,
do you think there's a point though where we'll hit legacy fatigue? I mean, I imagine you guys are talking about running out of shelf space. I think when people start seeing their shelves fill up with games that they can't play anymore, I think it's going to hit a point where it may the trend may fade out.
It
depends on the quality. I think.
I presume you're including Time Stories as well, because obviously Yeah, I mean you can play it again, but people say that you would need to forget it. So like a couple of years, because there's puzzles in it that you know how to solve, right? So, um,
I like for instance with Pandemic season Legacy Season 2. For that game, for me to feel like that game's going to be worth it, it's going to have to bring some, it can't just be more of what Pandemic Legacy is doing. Now, because what this is doing is fantastic. I love it. But if Season 2 just brings more of that, I don't know that'll be something that I'll be interested in. I wanted to bring something fresh and new to the table, which, hopefully with the minds of the two designers they've got, behind it, that's something it can do. But I think it's definitely a possibility that people are obviously not going to, I don't think, are going to buy every single Legacy game that comes out because partially what you're saying there, Georgie. Because with Legacy games, it's not like, at least with Time Stories, you can sell or trade away the module, Marcy case or whatever after you've played it. You can't do that with a Legacy game.
yeah, because you've racked the board and you've.
Right.
I mean, that was my kind of thought about Time Stories is people, like, realistically in a group, like a big group, could you not just buy Time Stories, play it, pass it around, and then get it back, get the expansion, play it, pass it around? So, like, not everyone needs to buy a copy of Time Stories, right?
No, and that's what a lot of people are doing, I think.
Yeah, but then with Pandemic Legacy, like you said, once you've played it, that's it. So, is Season 2? I guess you're not going to be able to use anything because it's standalone, like you've said. So anything that's happened in the first one is irrelevant, regardless of whether you won, lost.
Theoretically, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll be more curious once I start hearing more information about it. But the more
I'm surprised they're waiting until 2017. I figured they'd jump on that, the hype while it was going, at the height of it. That's a long way away to wait to put that game out.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an element of them wanting to take a break and do other things, and there's an element of Rob Daviau not wanting to release. 2 seconds.
Oh, what's happening?
Uh-oh. Call the police?
What?
Sorry.
What in the world just happened?
Sorry. My cat opened the cupboard and then tried to dive in, and there's food kept in there. So.
Your cat opened the cupboard.
Yeah, he's quite clever.
It's an impressive cat.
He's pretty big as well, so he just kind of, and then just walked in, and I was like, oh! Freaked out a little. Anyway, sorted. Where were we? Yeah, speaking about legacy games. I don't know. I think there's an element of Rob Daviau not wanting to release Pandemic Legacy and Seafall in the same year because that could be detrimental to either, I guess.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be curious to see. I think you're right, Baker, in the Time Story thing. People should be allowed to vote Time Stories the game or its expansions. You're totally right. And I'd be curious to see how high it goes the more that come out with it. However, I think it gives an element of unfairness to some other games that aren't like that. Because you're never going to get the experience. You know what I mean? You're never going to get that storytelling experience through a game that you can keep opening and playing and playing and playing. Like, because eventually you know what it's going to be like. So having a big competitive game, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's strange.
Well, but the storytelling is not the only thing that people rank board games about. Because if you look at, Twilight Struggle is still number 2, and Terra Mystica is number 3, and there's no storytelling in that game.
Yes. Okay.
Caverna is number 4.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I think it's just a case of seeing how I think it's going to change. The top 100 list is going to change pretty drastically in the next couple of years with all these legacy games and different style of games and new mechanics coming out. It has been changing quite a lot anyway over the last couple of years, but I think it's going to change pretty drastically soon. And I'm excited for it. Can't wait to see what happens.
Hey, out of curiosity, how many games in the top 10 on BGG do y'all have in your collection?
Oofed.
I just realized I have 3, which is the most I've ever had. Pandemic Legacy, Mage Knight, and Star Wars Imperial Assault.
Oh, I was going to say none because I'm such an unconformist, but I've got Imperial Assault. So
Imperial Assault, I think, is the only one I have.
Here, let me list them off real quick, just or unless y'all have it in front of y'all already.
Yeah, I just got it now. So.
Oh, okay.
Good, read them.
Yeah, Pandemic Legacy, Twilight Struggle, Terra Mystica, Caverna, Through the Ages, Puerto Rico, Agricola, Castles of Burgundy, Mage Knight, Imperial Assault.
Yeah, I've got Imperial Assault.
Imperial Assault,
Although Castles of Burgundy,
Puerto Rico.
You got Agricola, Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Have you played Caverna?
I have not. I've very recently, probably in the past year, I played Agricola for the first time.
Oh, wow!
And you went
and grabbed it.
What's that?
So wait, so you played it and then you liked it so much you went and bought it, or you bought it and that was the first time you played it?
Yeah, the first time we played it, and I was like, because I mean, it was like it never looked. I mean, because I was slow getting the Euros in the first place, and then Agricola just didn't look that exciting. And I played it. I'm like, wow, this is great. And now I have to go get Caverna because everybody says Caverna is so much better than this.
Yeah.
So I haven't played Caverna yet, but I want to.
Yes. Go ahead.
No, you go, Baker. Let's go.
Oh yeah. With Agricola, it was when I first started watching the Dice Tower, Caverna was not out yet when I first got into board games, and so Tom Vass was always talking about how great Agricola is, and Sam and Z are right next to him, telling him what an idiot he is for liking that game. And so I was kind of on the fence about it, and then Caverna came out, and all three of them said how good Caverna was. So at that point, Agricola fell off my wish list, and Caverna's been on it ever since. And I still haven't gotten it because it's a really difficult game to get a hold of for a reasonable price. But in fact, what is it? It's actually under list value right now on Amazon, though. So that's cool.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of those like super expensive games.
Yeah.
I think like actually I saw it in a shop. It was like £80, which is really expensive. Again, it's in a shop. It's brick and mortar as well, but
I mean,
yeah,
£80. That's like $300 in America.
How do we always get on the exchange rate?
I couldn't let it go. I had to get it in there.
You can't leave it alone. I don't think this is what is this, episode 6? Name and Progress episode 6, and there has not been one episode that we have not managed, that Baker has not managed to plug the exchange rates.
That's like my thing. That's my shtick right there.
Yeah.
Our fan would be disappointed if I didn't mention that.
Okay, so if anyone wants to get Baker a present, stockpile. So yeah, just anything to do with stocks or money exchanging or anything like that.
No, if anybody wants to get me a present, send me a couple pounds. That's what you should do.
Oh, of course, yeah, because then you could exchange it.
Send me £3 so I can make my mortgage.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Ridiculous. I think really that's pretty much all I had to chat about today. I think I just wanted to grab us all together because it's been like over a month.
It's been a little while since we've done one of these.
Yeah, and it was so like, I guess like apologies to anyone who was expecting some like great form or like a lot of things to chat about, but it's really just been us guys just having a chat today. There hasn't been much really.
I think there's legit, there's room for that in the world.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's just a case of with it being early on the year as well. I think we need to get a couple more of these live chats in before Gen Con hits, because once that hits, I think probably we'll have to do maybe if we can arrange it, we'll get 4 or 5 people in, and we could maybe do a couple of hour chat about Gen Con and all its releases and what we're all excited about. I think that would be a really cool idea. So maybe try and aim for something like that in the future if you guys are game.
Baker, are you going to Gen Con?
No, actually I've never been to a con, and I'm finally going to make it to Dice Tower Con this year.
Oh, cool.
So, because that's the closest one to me. That's down in Orlando.
Okay.
All the others are plane flights. You know what I mean? So,
So how close?
I go to Origin. I could drive to Origin, so I'll go to that one. But that's
nice.
So how close is Dice Tower Con to you then, Baker? So how
Orlando is, I think, a 6-hour drive.
Right. Okay.
So I think that's about right.
What about you, Kirk?
I can't just say something like that and then be wrong. Hold on.
Origin's about 2.5 hour drive for me. So
that's a real nice drive right there. That's awesome.
Me and some friends do a day trip we'll go out for the, we'll leave and go out for the whole day, do like a Saturday out there. And it's you could get Origins is nice because you could do pretty much everything you want to do in a day. I mean, I know you need a week for Gen Con, but Origins is small enough still where you get a solid day in and you've covered everything you need to.
Yeah, I would love to go to Origins. Gen Con, I just don't. I don't know if that's one I'm gonna ever. That does not appeal to me because Origins is more about like that's you can go there and play games at Origins. Like it's kind of got to focus on that. Whereas Gen Con, everything I've ever heard is Gen Con is more about the spectacle.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That doesn't appeal to me as much.
Yeah, to be honest, I mean, I'm not going to say that I wouldn't love to go there and just like check it all out, but I don't know.
Somebody get a ticket. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping to go to. See, I sound really lame compared to you guys being stuck on this wretched island. Not better at all. But yeah, so I might be going to the UK Games Expo this year. So I've been talking to one of the guys there. So for you that don't know, UK Games Expo, ukgamesexpo.com, ukgamesexpo.com. Go check it out. It's this summer. It's the biggest games expo in the UK. And I know the Dice Tower guys, or two of the Dice Tower guys, are actually going to be there. So I don't know. I might even get to meet them before you, Baker, if I'm not mistaken. Because So yeah, I don't know. It looks really cool. I'm hoping to get there, but again, it's holidays, it's time. Hoping to kind of score a press pass or something so that I don't have to like cough, because I'm pretty skint this year. I really am with everything that's happened. So I'm hoping that if I can get the press pass, that I don't need to cough out for a ticket, and then maybe I can go there and get some filming done for the channel. So
that'd be cool.
No one's watching.
That's what I'm hoping to do. I don't know how it works. I want to do that Origins this year. I'd like to do some recording to the channel.
Oh, 2 seconds.
What in the world just happened?
All right, don't listen. But no, I was saying, Baker, I'd like to do some recording for the channel in Origins this year. I wanted to do it last year, but I just really started, didn't know what I was doing. I'd like to get some recording at the show. I think that'd be fun. And then the other thing I'm going to try and get to this year is the World Board Game Championships. I didn't even realize it, but that's also within driving distance of where I'm at right now. So I'd like to get to that too. Maybe film that one as well.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'll probably do some filming down at Dice Tower Con.
This has been an intense live chat for me today. There's a lot going on, right? So.
Yeah. Well, I've got to get going too, actually, because I got to start helping the kid get ready for school, I guess.
Yeah, no problem. Just an update. My shelves will be delivered in an hour.
Nice. You should do an unboxing.
Yeah.
Of the shelves.
Yeah.
Building.
Yeah. No. I'll do a periscope of my face being really excited as but I think they're coming set up though. I thought they were flat packed. Never mind. I'll see when they come. That's a bit of a random thing. Anyway, Baker, you said you got to get going. Kirk, I know you might be working today as well. So what I'll do is I'll call it a day at this. Guys, thanks again for watching. You've been watching another live chat, Name in Progress, with me and my co-host Baker, guest Kirk. It's been another awesome, just chatty time. This episode, or this channel, is sponsored by GamesLore, which is the largest UK independent game retailer, which can be found at gameslore.com. Other than that, I hope everyone has an awesome day, and I'll catch you guys later.
See ya.
See ya.